Hi friends, today I'm going to show you guys how I make a sweet and spicy wings. As always, all ingredients will be listed down in the description box below, and don't forget to hit the like, comment, and subscribe and share with a friend. So let's get into it. So I have here 5 whole wings that I washed and cleaned. I took out the tips. I don't like the tips. You want to keep the tips, so shall it be, okay? Pat it down dry. Next step, this is a Scotch bonnet pepper. This is what I got in the store. This is very, very hot, so I suggest when you're cutting this, please use gloves, because if you use your bare hands and you wipe your eyes or your skin, this thing goes into your skin and it burns, okay? I've learned my lesson many years ago, so handle with caution, okay? Now, I'm cutting up a small piece of the Scotch bonnet pepper. You can use as much as you like. If you want to use the whole thing, that's fine, but I'm warning you, it is hot. If you want to use a little bit here that I'm using, that's fine as well. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend it with some green seasoning and some of garlic cloves, like about 2 garlic cloves I use, just for it to absorb in the flavor, as you can see here. And if you don't have green seasoning, that's fine. You can just blend it with some oil and a little bit of fresh garlic. So I'm adding in a pinch of salt, followed by a little bit of onion powder, some black pepper, paprika, and some chicken seasoning. Now, I did not go do exact measurements for this recipe. I just eyeball it. But if you wanted to look for exact measurements for a small portion like I made here, roughly about a teaspoon of all seasonings, with the exception of salt, which you can use like a pinch, because keep in mind my green seasoning have salt and the chicken seasoning have salt, so we're trying to not have like such high sodium on these foods here. So I'm giving everything a mix here, and this is the time if you want to taste for flavor, go ahead, okay? So I'm just tasting it just to make sure like the heat consistency works with this mix, and it did. So now I'm going ahead and I'm going to put some olive oil on my wings, or if you have avocado oil, you can use it as well. This is just to work as a binder. Mustard works as a binder as well. And then you want to just throw in the seasonings afterwards and just mix everything up. And again, wear gloves, because the Scotch bonnet pepper is very, very hot, for those that don't know. And if you can't find that, any other hot pepper works, like a chili pepper. Even if you want to use a jalapeno, that works as well. And you just want to make sure that it coats evenly. And then what I'm going to do here is I had it marinating for a bit. But before I did that, I put in some baking powder, because it just gives it like a nice color as if it was fried, but it's not fried. But we are putting it in the air fryer. You can also bake this as well if you are trying to avoid like the greasy food like I am. Marinate it with love until it looks like so, and then we're going to cover this up. If you want to keep this overnight in your fridge, that's good. But if you're pressed for time, then you just let it sit for a couple of hours. So I'm using an air fryer here. I'm just spraying the air frying tray with some cooking spray, and I'm just going to place these wings on the air fryer. I put it at a temperature of about 375 degrees for 30 minutes total, and I flipped it halfway through. If you're using an oven, set it for 400 degrees and 400 degrees for 40 minutes and flip it over halfway through. Sorry. Next up, I am using a half a stick of butter for my sauce here, and I'm just going to let this melt out completely. Alright, so I couldn't decide if I wanted to use maple syrup or honey as a sweetener, so I decided to use both. So here I am entering 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, and then I'm going to be adding in 1 tablespoon of honey, because I'm looking for that sweet component to make love to my spicy components, okay? So I'm giving it a mix, and I'm tossing it around, and then I'm going to taste for flavor. And when I tasted it, it reminded me of like French toast, which was not what I expected, but it was good. So I'm going to continue to give it a mix, and then I'm going to go in and I'm going to add in some red pepper flakes just to give it a little bit of heat. And then I'm going to taste for flavor. If it's not sweet and spicy enough for you, you could go in and you can add in some hot sauce, which is what I did. I added in about 1 teaspoon of some hot sauce. Alright, so now that my wings is done, I'm just going to put it in this nice bowl here, because I'm going to be adding in the sauce. I'm going to give it a toss. So look at these lovely babies. Like, you would think it was fried, but not fried in batter. That's how it looks when you put the baking powder on it. So that's why it's important to put the baking powder, or if you don't have that, put cornstarch, so it can have that nice glazy looking look to it. So now you can taste the wings here to see like if there's enough heat in it. And if it is, we can go ahead and proceed with adding the sauce, okay? And I added in about 3 spoons of sauce instead of like drenching it down, because I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't overpowering with the combination of the sweet and the spicy. and then you just want to give it like a toss for one final time for a couple of seconds. If you can't do it like this, you can just use a spoon, if you want to do that way. And friends, here you have it. The sweet and spicy wings. This is good for like a wing Wednesday, or like now that it is sports season, if you want to serve this as an appetizer for game day, like the Sunday football or the Sunday basketball or whatever sport you watch. You just want to eat it because you like wings, okay? So this is it. So friends, try this recipe out. Let me know what you think by leaving a comment. As always, please like and share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for taking the time to check out my video. Thank you for watching. Until next time.